Hello, this is Phil Brisky from Zion Technologies Incorporated. I just wanted to do a quick little video of our newsletter because of the importance of the content inside this newsletter. And we know that some of us don't read through things thoroughly, so I thought I would do a courtesy video explaining in cursory of what this newsletter contains. This is an extremely important newsletter because it makes us aware of a potential threat to your personal and business files that could cost you thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars. So if you look at our newsletter, this is our third newsletter, and it starts out about Windows 10, but we're just going to go in reverse and we're going to get right to the second half of the email, which entails vital technology information. And we're going to understand a new word called ransomware. What is ransomware? Ransomware is a particular encryption virus that once infected on your computer renders all of your pictures, your PDF documents, your Excel, your Word, pretty much all of your personal content that you create, it encrypts them. What is encryption? Encryption is a conversion of the file that does not allow you to open that file unless it's unencrypted. So if your files are encrypted, how do you get them unencrypted? Well, the ransomware itself puts a ransom note on your computer and tells you how to pay them to unencrypt your files. So this is kind of like a kidnapping of your own personal data, and they want a ransom to get that back. So once that happens, you have two options. Number one is to go through their 10-step process, which looks a little something like this. What happens is once all the files get encrypted, you'll get a pop-up message on your browser that looks something similar to this, and then you can see they have like an 11-step, 10 to 11-step process on how to create a Bitcoin wallet, how to fund that Bitcoin based on the amount that they say, and that amount is determined on how much of your data has been encrypted by them. And that could be anywhere from $400 to $17,000, as has been documented with previous cases. So once you fund your Bitcoin wallet, then you have to pay them in Bitcoin, which equals a certain amount of U.S. currency. I do not recommend in any way, shape, or form this process. Do not give in to the ransom. Do not pay them any money, regardless of what any governmental agency says, because the truth is that you can have these files decrypted by a legitimate third-party service. One of these legitimate third-party services is Proven Data Recovery, which we are partners with. So back to what happens when you get encrypted or receive a ransomware encryption virus. You'll see a familiar message like this. There's your processes, and then it will actually put a text file and an HTML file in every single folder where it actually encrypted data. And sometimes it even puts this image right here that you're seeing on the screen, it puts that as your desktop background. Some other familiar backgrounds that will look like this. This may be a pop-up. This may be a background message. When you get infected, the first thing you want to do is completely shut your computer down. Do not turn it on, and please contact Zion Technologies so that we can go through the process of seeing that we can get your data back for you. So the reason you want to turn off that computer immediately is because it may not have infected your entire computer yet. The second reason is that if your computer is on a network with open shared files, it will infect other computers on the network, including your server, including databases, SQL Server databases, and so your main program might be inoperable due to one person opening an email. Now that leads me to how do people get ransomware viruses? The number one way is through an attachment in an email. If you don't have proper protection on your computer, such as Avast Antivirus and some of the other softwares we put on brand new computers that are sold from Zion Technologies, you will not be able to protect yourself. Now, there are some other antiviruses out there, but we recommend Avast as the number one. We do know that Windows Internet Security or Windows Security Essentials does not block any ransomware viruses. That has been tested. So what will happen is someone's email will get hacked, like someone's Hotmail or MSN or Yahoo or Gmail, whatever. Their email will get hacked. And in their email is their address book. In their address book is potentially your address, and that's why you received the email. So they'll have the proper name of the person, but then they won't actually have the email right. So that's called spoofed. It's a real name of a person you know because your address is in their address book, and that's why they're sending to you. But the email address is actually kind of messed up. And so you always want to check when you're opening an attachment from any individual, you want to check their actual email address and not just rely on that name that comes through in your email program, be it Outlook or Gmail or Outlook.com. Look at the actual email address. That's one indication if you should be able to open an attachment or not. And the other thing it does is it'll put a familiar or friendly attachment in there, such as invoices or pictures or resumes, something to the effect of what you're looking for, because it has scoured that person's email program and looks for keywords of what most likely they'd be sending out to you. So again, the number one way that people get infected is through an attachment in email. Once that attachment's open, the script that runs the ransomware virus opens up and starts infecting that computer and every other computer has access to on the network. So again, you'll see these familiar screens. All of a sudden you can't open files. The first thing you want to do is completely shut your computer down. We have all these instructions in our email. So on top of viewing this video, please go through the email, and there's a section in there that says steps to take care of if you're infected. So what is someone supposed to do other than having proper protections on their computer? The biggest thing is having a proper backup for your system and or your server or business computers. There's an example case from Zion clients. There's a new client that was picked up in December, and they hadn't fully committed towards protections and Carbonite backup on the first meeting. 3 months later, they actually got one of these viruses through a computer that didn't have full protections, and they also did not have Carbonite, and their entire server got encrypted, and one computer that opened the email got encrypted also. So they had to end up paying over $4,000, actually over $4,300 in total, to have their files decrypted by the legitimate third-party company we go through for decryption. And they did not give in to the ransom, which you're not supposed to do. And then there's another company of Zion's that a client of Zion's that actually got infected from a computer that didn't have full protections on, but they did have Carbonite installed on their main computer that acts as a server and serves all their files. So they had to pay $0 from Carbonite for Carbonite to restore their files that got encrypted. So again, that's a huge plug for Carbonite, and pretty much that's the only way you are going to recover your files without paying any money, is to have proper backup solutions. And we have an example case of 100% success on a ransomware infected computer. So if you want to inquire about Carbonite, if you do not have that in your business or home and you care about the personal data that's on there, please contact us. You can contact us through the newsletter here under the Contact Us section. That is pretty much what's going on with the ransomware. There is no free tool that you can use to decrypt this stuff. You're going to have to pay money if you don't have proper protections and backup in place. You're going to pay money one way or another. This is very serious. There's an example of a hospital that's paid $17,000 to decrypt their files, and that's just something you don't need to deal with when you just put these simple, cost-effective solutions in place. So as I said, we start out with the second half of the email because that's the most important part of this email newsletter to you. The second part is Microsoft and their Windows 10 upgrades. So Microsoft has, everybody's seen the Windows 10 pop-up messages that it wants to download and install. From Zion, our kind of motto is, if the computer was born with Windows 7, it should die with Windows 7. There's just too many instances of incompatibilities and having to troubleshoot after a Windows 10 upgrade and it's really not needed. Windows 7 is going to be around till 2020, so our modus operandi here is to keep Windows 7 on your computers and try to block Windows 10. And so that's what we're doing here. Microsoft has shifted the way they've done their downloads, and as of about 3 weeks ago, all of a sudden people started getting Windows 10 installed on their computers. We actually have a tool that can block all that and continue to monitor if Microsoft has changed anything in the Windows 10 upgrade with normal updates. So we call it Stop Windows 10 Update for $10. So for $10, we will log into your computer remotely through our LogMeIn remote system, and we will apply our fix and our monitor system. And as you can see right down here, there's this level 10, this little icon that says 10, and that is the monitoring system for making sure that your computer does not upgrade to Windows 10. If your computer has been upgraded to Windows 10, if it's been within the last 30 days, we can actually revert that for you, or you can try to attempt it yourself, but you can revert back to your previous operating system. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. Just wanted to give you this quick little video on what this newsletter is about and how important it is. You guys have a nice day and happy computing.